This is Wrestle MSX and welcome to the Musings of Raw and Smackdown, where we'll be taking a look at this past week in WWE.
Hello, I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And last week's SmackDown is where we shall begin. We had Orton and Rhodes progressing from their Fatal 4-Way to the semi-final of the King of the Ring. I think I said on our Raw review, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out, that I feel Orton will win the whole thing. He's never won it, and it would line up nicely with my theory that Orton, in the long run, will be the one to end Cena's run.
Yeah.
I mean, I was right about Naomi in her qualifying match for Money in the Bank, or before Money in the Bank was even thought of, or it came up, and I said I think she'll win. So I hit that nail on the head. So I've got a feeling Orton might win the whole thing. I mean, why not?
Yeah, he easily could, definitely. Because I think we said it's going to be then Jey and
Cody.
Yeah.
In the other match.
So if it's Jey, and then you've got it between Orton and Jey, that'd be good. But yeah, I could see Orton just kind of pipping him, just to get that, and
then challenging Cena. Because that was
100%,
the rules, wasn't it? You challenge whoever your champion is. I think Gunther's got enough.
I just had to think he is.
I think Gunther's got enough problems with Seth coming after him, and Jey probably coming after him again. Whereas Cena, he's beaten Rhodes, he's beaten Truth, he's beaten Orton. I think this will give Orton another chance.
Yeah.
And two people have said Orton could become 15-time world champion, and it's funny now. I think Orton said himself, and Karrion Kross on Raw. I think it's interesting that two people have now mentioned it. Could have been mentioned before. It's never been mentioned.
Yeah.
I even seen him may have mentioned it, but it's been mentioned now. 15-time world champion. It seems to be. It's funny that.
It's going to happen now.
It's funny that.
Bliss and Cargill won their respective Fatal 4-Ways in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I don't think there's much to dwell on there.
No, I mean
it
could have been between Jax and Cargill. If Jax had won, okay, Jax won. Cargill's won, okay, Cargill's
won. That's what I mean. Like, I think either could kind of go on to win the whole thing. I think that is going to be. I think the women's is tougher than the men's to kind of.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, no, but the thing is, even in the men's, you've got 4 good semi-finalists. I just feel Orton, whereas the women's, I think it's harder to predict. Well, I feel it is.
Yeah.
Because
there's many ways they could kind of take it.
Yeah, I mean, same with the men, but I don't know. I just think the men's is a bit easier to predict. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably mile off, but I don't know. Also, we saw the Wyatts in tag team action. Lumis and Gacy went against Motor City, with the Wyatts obviously winning, which we said they would last week.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Fraxium's turn this week. There's no way the Wyatts will be taking on the Profits yet.
No.
And I think DIY will worm their way
out
of the match.
They're a bit scared.
So it's got to be Fraxium, who I think they'll face this week. Who do you think they'll face next? Who said Pretty Deadly? No chance.
We also suggested that Bron Bronson would interfere with LA Knight. And surprise, surprise, they did.
Yes, they did.
With Bron spearing Knight during the Fatal 4-Way King of the Ring match. I think we also said that Knight would show up on Raw and interfere with Reed's match.
It's like you're predicting this. It's amazing, isn't it? It's like you read the script.
Which he did with a few of his friends.
Yes.
And then, I'm pretty sure it was off camera, we or you have brought
suggested Survivor Series already.
I know.
It's only June. That's a good watch. It's only June.
Calm yourself.
And when's that? November time?
Usually November.
Should be. That's where it used to be. Just have it in November.
Yeah. Because you could have Knight, Orton, Rhodes, Jey and Punk.
And that. Come on.
That'd be so good.
Who's played? No, that's.
I'd pay to watch that.
I wouldn't.
Just them. Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah. Well, that's what it used to be. It used to be the best.
Exactly.
The top guy.
Yeah.
Top guys.
Exactly. And they could go against Seth, Bron Bronson, Cena, and then either Gunther or Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul would make more sense.
I think Paul would make more sense.
Because Gunther's just, he's not bothered about being with
no.
people. No. Just like,
well, yeah, but Survivor Series one's about being bothered. He's just like, hey, come and help us.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, go on.
That would be good guys versus bad guys.
It's a true Survivor Series.
As it should.
Yeah.
Like it used to be.
Yeah. Not just, I've got my gang, I want to face your gang. It was the good guys against the bad guys. Can they work together to overcome
Exactly. Because I think for a bit, I can't remember when it was awful. They just used to they made it like it was Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
And turned it into like a bit of a bragging rights thing.
Yeah, but I don't feel that was a bad thing because you could still have the top guys from each. Because
they'd tally it, and then it'd be like, oh, so Raw has won. Because like it'd be like Raw wins the most matches in that paper.
I know.
Nothing came of it.
Well, yeah, but it was bragging rights. But you still had the top guys from each side. I suppose some guys would miss out. But if you just had the top heels against the top faces, and the way that they've got it set up at the moment, you could easily have that.
Yeah.
You could easily have that. But yeah, Paul makes more sense than Gunther because Gunther, not bothered. And even though, what about title matches?
Big ones, so he would want to actually show up.
But you could have title matches with the women's. You could have the women's.
Yeah,
well,
exactly,
then you could have the women's survive, but you don't know how that would play out. It doesn't have to be a title on the line at every pay-per-view.
No, it doesn't.
As long as it's a big match with big names, it doesn't matter. That's all. And then obviously we've got Solo and Jacob seemingly to have officially split. So that's clearly going to kick off.
Yeah, because he's going to be waiting in the ring, I think he said.
Yes.
With open arms. So we'll see what...
we will. And then obviously we've got Cena and R Killings. Seem to be going toe-to-toe again. Don't they? Having a little... Well...
Hopefully it'll be a bit different, because obviously it's...
The thing is, though, what's the payoff? What's Ron Truth going to do? Knock some sense into Cena like he said he would? Is Truth going to win the title? I mean,
I don't think it is for the belt.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. What I'm saying is that where this is going? I mean, if you've got an idea, then please let me know because I have not got a read on this at all.
Nope.
I don't know. I don't see the point of. Okay, so Cena beats him. Then what? Okay. Truth beats Cena, and then what? Oh, Truth gets another title shot against Cena, which he's unlikely to win. Exactly, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that.
Anyway, swiftly moving on to Raw.
Definitely.
Because we don't know what's going on there. Asuka winning her Fatal 4-Way was a bit of a surprise.
Massive.
Because I know you had Vikir winning that.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Which I didn't...
At the moment, she's the one.
Yeah.
She's the one.
But then I was thinking Perez has got through, so I thought, looking at it again, it's like, maybe they wouldn't have...
That's one newbie through.
Exactly. So maybe not two newbies.
Maybe.
But, yeah. And Jey winning the last men's Fatal 4-Way for the King of the Ring. So now we know our semi-final lineup. So we've got Jey versus Rhodes and Orton versus Zayn in the men's. And then Asuka versus Bliss and Cargill versus Perez for the women. Now, I know you've already said Orton.
Yes, for the whole
thing. For the men's. The women's.
As we said.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Tough.
I can imagine Cargill, but that's as far as it's got.
Yeah.
I've not put more thought into it. And then she'd face off
against Stratton. But they had a match a few weeks ago. And it
was a bit
it didn't really work. It wasn't... I mean, okay, they don't know each other. They've got to sign each other out. They've got to work together. They've got to, hey, let's put this match together. But... I don't know. I don't know. And then obviously we had Goldberg returning to offer Gunther out for a fight, which they will have at Saturday night's main event.
I can't wait for that.
And from the way Goldberg walked down, I'm going to have Gunther all day. He walked down. He was a bit stiff.
Just about walked down.
No, he did, but he's...
not loose.
No, but he will be though. All he's got to do is come out and hit the promo and say, "Gunther, I'm coming for you." I mean, before he has his match, he'll obviously do a bit of warming up, or you'd hope he would.
You'd have thought so. Well, he should be warming up
You know,
already.
professional. That's what you do. You get yourself ready for your match.
It's going to take him longer to get ready, so.
Yeah, he needs his second win. But yeah, Gunther all day for that. He's got to be, and then that's it.
It's gotta
Gunther's
be.
retired because you don't win your last match.
You mean Goldberg?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Gunther, yeah, you don't win your last match.
No, exactly.
So that should do him.
Yeah, Gunther can't really lose that, can he? No. And Styles is going to be taking on Dirty Dom for the IC title. And that's at Night of Champions.
It is.
Yeah.
I think this is tough to call.
Yeah.
I don't know what you feel about this.
I would like Dom
To
keep the
retain.
belt,
I would as well.
because I like that
Yes,
and him
it's
and
funny.
the Judgment Day. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you can easily see Styles winning.
Oh
it,
yeah,
so.
Styles. Yeah, Styles.
That's what I mean, so it's
the thing is,
hard.
it just seems to be them two at the moment.
Yeah, there's
There's
no
nobody else sort of like
coming for
when
it.
Breaker had it.
There was always people.
You had Penta, you had Dom, Balor, I think at the time, and I think Styles was sniffing around,
Yeah.
and then Dom ended up with it, and now you've just got Styles and Dom. So Styles win it, and then you've got to start a new feud with somebody coming after.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be Balor. Either of them could win it. It doesn't matter. I just feel Dom would be funnier,
Yeah.
more entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it just go back to being, did you say, stale?
Yeah, and Balor being, you've got it, I won it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We've also found out that Bayley will be going against Becky Lynch for the IC title next week on Raw, which I feel, and I did say on the Raw review, will escalate into a triple threat Evolution, especially with Valkyrie. Well, with Valkyrie joining in,
Yeah.
especially with how Valkyrie was with Bayley after she found out she had a match against Lynch next week for the title.
Yeah. She wasn't too impressed.
No, she wasn't. And I don't know if it'll be a clean finish next week and Becky will win, or Bayley will win and Becky will be like, no, I'm not having this, I need to get the title back. Then Valkyrie will get involved. There's your triple threat Evolution, because it needs a big match.
Yeah.
Why not have that? One of your biggest names in Lynch, one of your up-and-comers in Valkyria, and then you will be in Hall of Fame, Bayley, just to have that three. Makes sense.
Yeah, like that.
I'd say draw people in.
Yeah.
All this, and it's having a nice little build as well.
Yeah. Liv Morgan has unfortunately dislocated her shoulder, and that is a real blow. She's involved in like everything.
On Raw.
On Raw.
She's there all the time.
Exactly. The way her and Balor play things off against one another, that works really well. Always rubbing each other up the wrong way, obviously, like in the Judgment Day den and little looks and things like that. And it also puts the kibosh on a match that you thought,
yes.
Well, yeah, I think you thought would happen, which was
Bella against Morgan.
Nikki Bella.
Evolution. I mean, Becky came out last week.
Exactly.
And then Morgan came out. I was like, oh, why didn't you list me as one of the up-and-comers or one of the champions or champions-elect?
Oblivion and...
Exactly. Did her in. So surely Bella was then going to come back out and be like, right, you and me match, Evolution.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. But now, I bet Nikki's like, now am I going to fight? Now I've got to start a feud with someone. I don't know. It might not have been a match. Who knows? It's just me thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Bella coming like back against Morgan.
Because if not, then why?
Exactly. What was the point coming out?
Exactly.
That's the only place I can think that was. And also, as I say, the tag division for the women, whether that was going to change hands, whether now they'll be stripped. Because that's also a story, right? You're stripped, new women's tag champs.
Yeah, you could have
a
like
tournament.
Exactly.
And then when Morgan's back, her and Rodriguez can just win it back.
Because I think they're getting a new women's team together.
Are they?
In Natalia and Maxine, because they seem to be hanging around a lot.
Yeah. Well, if they are, why not have them out for a match?
I know.
Just give them a run. Just give them a try. Let's just see what they can or can't do.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then this week's SmackDown, we've just mentioned it. We've got Ron Truth against Cena. Again, where is this heading? I can't get a beat on this one at all. What is the point? As I say, unless he's going to knock sense into Cena, and Cena's going to be like, oh yeah, why am I such an absolute idiot? Yeah, I'm a good guy again. And come out with all the lights and everything else and the belt the right way round. I don't know what he's doing. I don't get it. Okay, I know people want Truth back, but is Truth getting enough support behind him to have a title shot and to win it. And is that what WWE want in the long run? You can't just give this to the fans because, he needs this.
Yeah.
Bring him back by all means.
Yeah, yeah.
No problem. I always found him funny. He is funny what he does. He just needs to be there. But what's he doing against Cena again?
I don't know.
We've seen that.
Exactly. But he's obviously going to play it different.
Yes.
Obviously, he came out last time.
Do you think he'll come out with his own moves?
That's what I mean. He's got to. Because last time he came out to Cena's music.
Ron Cena, he
adapted the T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And say his moveset. And the jorts and everything. So what? Is he going to be more...
He'll just come out in black pants, black vest, standard, default.
Default wrestling.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. We also have Jade Cargill against
Perez, which we mentioned.
Yep, and then Bliss against Asuka in the women's semi-final for the Queen of the Ring. And then we have Orton against Zayn in the first of the men's semi-finals for King of the Ring. But Rhodes and Jey is next week on Raw. So I thought they might have kind of split these up.
I did.
So 2 on one, 2 on the other.
Yeah, I mean either 2 women and 2 men, or a man and a woman and a man and a woman. I don't know. You've got 4 matches. Why don't you split them evenly?
They need to fill that
3 hour
SmackDown.
I don't know. And then obviously we've got Solo will be confronting Fatu. And I think Solo will get the better of Fatu.
Okay.
Purely because the numbers game, i.e. JC.
Yeah.
So they'll have a little confrontation.
JC,
might butt heads. And then JC will come in, flatten Fatu.
Because they didn't like each other anyway.
No, Fatu didn't like JC. I don't know. And then we'll have Fatu against JC before he can take on Solo.
Obviously.
You always have to go through the right-hand man before he can take on the head honcho. But we don't need any random matches, so Aldis, listen up. We need a nice tight 2-hour show. If you could do that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. I mean, some of the matches they make...
I know, it's just like...
Who's bothered about
Why?
this? I want to be bothered about it.
Yeah.
I say I wasn't bothered about the White 6 against... Who did they fight? Just said it. Motor City Machine Guns last week.
God, yeah,
I'm not. You know, I'm not invested in either team or any of them.
No, obviously they're just working their way through.
Yes.
So we know they're just working their way through.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean anything anyway.
No, so it's going to be White 6, as I said, as we said,
then
against Fraxium this week.
And then probably DIY. They'll try and get out of it.
And they'll beat Fraxium. Even though Fraxium have been on a run, they haven't lost as far as I'm aware, because their match against the DIY. Oh no, it was a title match against the Profits.
That's the one
that was interrupted.
Yeah.
So they haven't technically lost yet.
Yeah, fair.
So it'll be Fraxium against White 2. The White 2 will win again. Hopefully Dexter will be on the ball this time, because he had a couple of slip-ups in his match. Probably because he's not wrestled for a long time. I'm going to let that slide. You know, don't forget your lines. Don't forget your moves. Practice. That's it. That's what you can go in the back for. Stay after time. Have a little practice.
Yeah.
Don't you know? It's not hard, is it? Anyway, if you don't agree with what we've said, which is fine, please let us know in the comments below.
Go and check out our review of Raw from Monday or last week's Musings.
Thank you once again, if you did watch, for watching.
And we'll see you Saturday for SmackDown.